Hello and good morning, everyone. We are at about an 8-month review on my Nix boots. I'm sorry I didn't make a 6-month review. I've got a little surprise for you with these, so let's just kind of jump into this thing. I've had actually a few requests on my comments to do a updated review, I guess, 6-month, 8-month, whatever. I missed the 6th. Sorry about that, but I am here with the 8-month, and let me tell you, these are only getting better with time. Unbelievable, unbelievable boots. Normally at 8 months, that is 4 months from a year. I normally get a year out of my boots. So yeah, get up a little closer. I hope I don't run out of range there. As you can see, there are there's no marks in them. There's no issues like wear marks, you know, dry, cracked. I actually do need to oil these. I want to clean them before I oil them, though, because they got all that dust on there. And pardon that they're dirty. I was using them yesterday to grind stumps. So they're full of dirt. So there is a little wear. I've never worn the soles out on a pair of boots yet. Not one time. If you look, these are a little thin right here versus this up here. I can sink my finger farther in those. So right here where I walk, there's a little bit of wear. These crosses, diamonds, whatever they are shorter than this one up here. On the heel, there is, and I'll show you more on this in a minute, but this one's worn off. This one's close. This back is worn. That's where I step because I walk kind of on the outside of my boot. So yeah, there's that. Now, I wish I could be wearing these for the video because I'm in these old slip-ons that I got, and I'm not a big fan. I don't like the way they fit. So pardon the pants rolled up and stuff like that, and it's, you know, it is what it is. Also, we're outside today. I forgot to mention that. So if you hear birds, bugs, or vehicles driving by or whatever, it's way too pretty of a day to be inside. So that's where we're at today. Now, on this one, my pretty Vibram logo fell off. I don't know where or why that came off. So that did. The leather on the midsoles, as you can see, is dark. If you remember I don't think it was my last video, it was the one before that, maybe. One of them. I was out in the snow a lot. I had a whole day standing in snow, and it bleached these out because I bought walnut uppers, and I did the brown soles, and it bleached the color out. Because what they do is they take a natural leather and they basically just put a color on the outside, so it'll wash it right off. Water, mud, snow, obviously. Excuse me. So that washed it off. They looked a little funny to me. I didn't like it. It was a nice, beautiful dark boot, and then this got kind of white, so they look kind of funny. Overall, the bottoms of the boot, like the footbed, keeps breaking in better. And I mean, they are so comfortable. I can stand in them all day. Let's see, it was last week. I was at a place and I was on concrete for, well, a good half a day, just standing on concrete. When I got home, my feet were tired, but they weren't painful. Never really had that in a pair of boots. Even these are my old everyday wear boots. I mean, I bought these in Gatlinburg, Tennessee on my honeymoon. And they just, I get about 2 hours in and I'm hurting. My knees hurt. They don't have any arch support. They're just flat bottom. They're not a match for these, that's for sure. Something I love about the rough out leather, and this is a love-hate thing with the rough out leather, actually. There is no creases. There's no marks. There is no show that these things are worn in. Like, if I really clean these up, they're going to be a little, like the fuzzy has worn off of them like this. That's laid down and kind of packed. I've seen guys revive it. I don't really want to. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's actually got a little bit of a shine. So you almost, if you buff on that just a minute with a brush, you'll actually kind of start to shine your boots. And I like shiny shoes. So that is a big upside of the rough out leather downside of the rough out leather, you can't shine them. But once it wears in like this, they actually do kind of start to shine a little bit. So I wasn't expecting that. So that's kind of cool. Oh, maybe you can see this in the camera. The heel is thinner here than it is over here. Not by a whole lot, but like I said, that's where I walk. This has gone a lot. That gap's gone. No big deal. It's not hurting anything. Something that was different to me, these strings, and I mentioned this in another video, they have pulled to the point they're pretty much closed. The leather has stretched. So I called next. I'm like, hey guys, what do we do? They said, we're going to send you these midsole, or these false tongues, not midsoles. These are heavier, and they have, I think this is neoprene on the inside, so it's a padded false tongue. If you're getting a bite right here, you may actually try these. I don't know if it'll help or not, but there is a piece of neoprene on there that'll squish it. So basically, this just pushes your leg out farther because there's a piece of leather in front of it now. And I already had tall ones, but now they got that neoprene on the back. I'm not a fan of them, but they make it work. I do not want to give these boots up because I've got them broke into the point. They're more comfortable than not wearing shoes. So if these will fix that, we're going to ride it for now, and that's good. Celastic toe is holding up and keeping the shape very nicely. As you can see, I'm getting some movement here. Hope you can see anyway. Where it is, my foot is actually touching the, like, not touching, but it's molded to my foot, is what I'm going to say. And a little bit here. So I am a huge fan of the Celastic, actually. You drop something on your toe and it'll slow it down. It's not a steel toe. Don't drop a piece of firewood on it. But I have had a couple things hit my toe like a piece of firewood. And it'll catch them and you'll feel it on top of your foot, but it's not the same as just a hollow toe. So that's a big thing I like. It will move, it will give as you're moving and bending, it will flex, but it keeps your toe shape really nice, and it still protects your toe. As for the lineman patches, they broke in really nice, and I like them. I think if you don't need them, you will definitely have an easier break in. I know the top of these boots is where I had the most pain. I had almost no pain in the bottom. My foot was not used to that kind of arch support, so it took me a minute to dial that in. Excuse me. But once I got it, now that they're broke in, and leather will break in. I mean, you could have a piece of leather that thick. Eventually, it will break in. It's going to be a long, long time, though. So the thicker leather, you know, and the midsoles, as you can see, I still can't bend it. They're not, I mean, they've curved up just from where I step, but they're not something you're just going to flex and stand on like these. I mean, those are so easy to bend. These are not like that. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, one thing. Okay, so a lot of people like the older boots, the heritage boots, stuff like that. I love that. That is my, that and cowboy boots I think are my favorite. And I like square toe cowboy boots, just in case you're wondering. But something you don't get with these is the creases. You don't get the wear-in marks. If you've ever looked at, growing up, I know was a big one for me. My dad cut trees as well. And his boots always looked so cool because they were all worn in, and he wore Red Wings, and he still does. They were always, you know, on the toe. They had all those hinge marks and stuff like that, and they're so cool. I mean, his old boots they look so cool. You're not going to have that as much with these. You can, I mean, there's a little bit of wear mark, but you're not going to get the cool creasing and the heritage look with these so much with the rough out. But the abrasion resistance with these is amazing. So, I mean, I've been up against quite a bit of stuff, concrete, you know, you get up against a piece of concrete slab or something, it doesn't scuff your boot. It doesn't tear it up. It just, it goes away. It's amazing. So, now for the little surprise I mentioned in the first. And this is the reason I waited for an 8-month video instead of 6. I've got a brand new pair here. I've worn them one time, I think. These are 16-inch, full rough out, walnut, double midsole, double lineman patch. Yeah, Nicks boots. These are my next pair of Nicks boots. I wanted to do a comparison, old versus new. So, let's get started on that. And I'll do a little bit of showing you on these things. So, these are 16 inches tall. I don't know if Nicks makes a bigger one than that. These are heavier. The tops are a little softer because they're not all, you know, stiffened up from your leg being in them and stuff. Those were a little softer, and they stand up better by themselves. When I got these, they would lay over. Since I've worn them, they will stand up on their own. I did go ahead and do the dual lineman patch, so it's got the one like my other pair, and then I had them put this one on the outside as well. I like these because right here is where my spur or my gaff strap lays, so that's kind of a nice thing to have that extra there. The double midsole, my next pair I want to be a dressed pair, and I want them to be pull-on. I probably won't go with the double midsole, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably do a different tread pattern, at least. So I probably won't do the big lug sole. I'll do a thinner, more of a dressy sole just to keep it from tracking in mud and stuff like that. So, this is the bottom of the boot. As you can see, this has still got all the little lugs in it, all the little lines. These are gone. Yeah, those are the same boot. So right here, this is worn completely smooth. It should have these two lines in it. This one's almost there. Same thing, should have the two lines in it. Still got the pretty yellow stamp in there. This one still has the red X. Apparently my others have actually worn off. I don't know if they've fallen off or if that actually comes out, but these were red X soles. As you can see this, I hope this video's working good. I hope the shadows aren't killing you. As you can see, these are definitely deeper. They're a big, lot wider cut. Leather on the heel. Hope you can see that. Is a lot prettier. Now, something I did on these, I went with the natural. So instead of doing the paint on the, or the dye on the outside, these are just left alone. So these darkened up very nicely. And I need to oil my boots again. It's time. But this is getting really nice and dark, a really cool look. To me, I like the dark, very broke-in look. I don't like the new crisp. They don't do anything for me. So with these, I went with the natural, so there is nothing to wear out of them. So it's just going to be color going in from here on out. I've got 5 or 6 hours wearing these maybe. The first day I put them on, I tried them on. I think it was mid-afternoon when they showed up. I went out to my shop. I was just cleaning up some stuff, so there was no really dirt or grease or anything like that on them. So I went out there and I was wearing them, came in, took them off. The next day I think I put them on for a little while, a few hours. And the footbed doesn't hurt my feet because I'm used to a big high arch. The top, though, is where I'm getting all my pain. And same thing with my others. This right here, this pinch, is where I'm getting my pain. So, yeah, that's just kind of standard. But on these, I really don't know what to do for a 6-month review other than to tell you how great they are. I'm sorry I don't have a big bunch of creases in them and, you know, all this cool looking wear in and break in and all that. They don't wear like that. These are some hardy boots. I bought a second pair. I'm going to buy a third pair. If Nicks will make them for me, if they'll do the, I want a squared, I want something similar to these. I want a Western style boot, and I hope Nicks does. I need to call them and just see if they will. I know they do an engineer boot, and if they can tweak that a little bit, we'll be right there. So, yeah. I am tickled pink with these. I love them. Like I said, the only thing that I've had that could even be considered an issue, and I'm not sure it really is, because with these it's working, is the fact that the leather has just stretched and they come together to the point that they're touching. Left boot was a little worse than the right boot, but that is what it is. The strings, leather strings. I still cannot decide if I like leather strings or not. I love the way that when they break in, they fold right around the boot. They stay in the same place every time. They break so easily. So I've never had one break when I'm out on a job. They've always been when I'm tying them. I'll pull them tight and snap, and they'll pop. That gets old real quick. So I've been considering going to like a paracord or something like that. Just because I think I've put 5 pair, maybe 6 pair in these boots alone. So with paracord, it's really strong. Seems to be pretty durable, lasts forever. And you know, you buy it by a spool, not by a lace. So that's something I may consider going to in the future. That's it. That's really it. There's no marks on here really from where I put my gaffs on them. I do have a little spot right there. You can see it's chewed up. I hope you can see that somewhere like that. It's a little chewed up. That's from my gaff being right there. But yeah, all in all, like I said, with almost any other boot, at 8 months, I'm starting to have footbed trouble. The bottom's all broken down. I'm not a light guy. I think I probably weigh close to 250 pounds, maybe 240. Somewhere roughly in there, water weight, you know, what I had for breakfast. There's a lot of variables in that. I break the bottoms of shoes down. I wear the insides out long before I ever wear the outsides out. So I've had several pair of boots that did not hold up on the inside, and the outsides look perfect because I keep them very nice. So I really try to take care of the outsides of them. Yeah. Toe cap has broken in very nicely. I know they said that'd be a little bit more of an issue. And it was, there's definitely a lot of leather here to break in. I noticed maybe 4 months. I thought I had them broke in. I could get in them all day with no pain. They were comfortable. They were very comfortable. After about 100 hours, 120 somewhere in there, I think I might have ran them a few more days. I put oil on them. Then they got really nice and soft. Totally changed the boot actually. And then I've continued to oil them. I don't know how many times I've actually oiled them. I use Obenoffs. I've only used Obenoff from NIX, which is not a big deal. If you buy it from there or Obenoffs, I don't think. I used to do mink oil. I probably won't use mink oil again. I have cleaned these with saddle soap one time, but I do brush them off quite a bit. I try to keep as much of the dirt off of them as I can, and I do not get in mud with these. Luckily here in Indiana we haven't had a dry summer, but we haven't had a wet summer, so it's been very consistent. The majority of my work though, I don't have to get in a lot of mud, which I'm very thankful for. So you know, that's kind of nice being in tree work. When it's too wet, when it's muddy, you really don't want to be in people's yards because you'll tear them up. Around my farm, I've been in a little more mud, but I don't like getting mud on these because this is raw leather. So when you get mud in it, it dries out and it's not good for them. I don't oil them every week. And if you are looking for a gauge when to oil your boots, they will tell you. That was something I did not know because I've never had boots like this. So when you are walking in these and you start feeling them stiff and pinching right here, and it feels like, man, these boots are really hurting me. Like I don't know what happened to them. They were broke in fine, and now they're not. It's time for oil. Oil them, let them sit overnight, and see what they feel like the next day. It'll be night and day difference. NIX told me don't over oil them because I was asking them like, hey, I'm spending a ton of money on boots. How do I take care of these things? I want them to last forever. And basically one of the things was don't under oil, don't over oil. That was about the best advice they could have given me because the rest of the boot speaks for itself. I do not have any doubt that if you took care of these boots, and I don't abuse mine by any means, but if you were working somewhere where they were never out in the weather, never out in the rain, anything like that, like if you had a machine shop job where your pant legs are over this all the time, you're obviously going to have to put new soles on them. I'm at just I'm at 8 months. Excuse me. I'm at 8 months with these, and they're showing some wear. I would say I'll probably get a year and a half out of them on the soles. Like I said, I'm a heavier guy, so you know, I think they can re-sole like 3 times before they actually have to rebuild, and then they can rebuild. I forget how many times they could rebuild on the same uppers. So if you were in somewhere where you weren't on your feet all the time, or like I said, a machine shop, even a welding shop, something like that, where the majority of the time your pant leg's going to be covering the top, I think you could get 20, 30 years out of a pair of these if you take care of them. I don't see a reason in the world you couldn't do that. I'm at 8 months in these, and they keep getting better. There has been no, oh boy, these are starting to get worn, or wow, I think I better be looking at a pair of boots. Every boot guy, every boot channel online, Nix has said you want more than 1 pair of boots, then you rotate them every other day. So I had only these. I could only afford these for a while, and pretty much since the day I opened these out of the box, I said I want another pair. And the more climbing I do, the top of my gaffs sit right here, so they are right on my calf muscle, which when you're in them for several hours, that really starts to cut into your leg and hurt. So I said I want a pair of 16s. So here's a comparison on that. When you cinch these up, they've got a little bit of a knot back here, and I'm not sure what that's for. If that is for your pant leg to tuck into, because these are designed to come up pretty much to your knee. There's my knee right there. So they come up about to your knee, and I'll do another video on these later on of just these boots. But they come up to your knee nearly, so you're supposed to be able to tuck your pants in, or you can put them over. So if you're climbing, if you're in the woods, if you are, I know a lot of linemen, like pole climbers, they wear these because those utility poles have got splinters all the way up, and they're creosote covered, some of them. They're the old ones. So when they're on those things, they're trying to keep their pants safe. They're trying to keep their legs safe. So you tuck your pants in your boots. Well, when you do that, you got this cut back here, and I don't know if that's exactly what it's for or what, but it's there. So it's a place for the material to bunch up. But yeah, there's a side-by-side comparison of the two, and these were 12-inch. And like I said, these are nice and stiff. These are not there yet. I do like the uppers to be a little more stiff. I hate the look of them just laying when I'm not in them. But yeah, I am very, very happy with my Nix boots. There you go. So, I am very brand loyal too. So like I said, if I can get Nix to build me something similar to these in the future, maybe within a year, next year, something like that, I'd like to do that. But they have treated me very well. I love the company. I love what they build. I think their products are second to none. I'm not going to say they are the best, because it's still leather and rubber and brass eyelets. So, you know, if the next guy can get the same leather, obviously their leather's not better. Their customer service, though, is second to none. And I want to say a thank you, too. If anybody from Nix is watching this, you guys have got some of the best customer service, and I really do want to say thanks. So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll get some more videos out soon. I've been very busy and haven't had time, so we'll see y'all soon.